Gobby Gaffer here at SC Cambuur, and I'm not going to lie to you, all the games I've played off camera, it's been a very, very frustrating time. Now I'm going to have a little rant now. If you don't like rants, go and make a brew, would be a great time. Okay, the start of my little rant. So, we've punched a hole in Rose Ed behind the goal. Yeah, the number of shots that have gone into Rose Ed, we've actually punched a hole in it. I'm surprised the frame of the goal is still standing. We've hit the crossbar and the post I don't know how many times. You know what Van Dijven's like. He's an absolute ace goal scorer. No, in all the games I've played off camera, he's... I don't know what's happened to Van Dijven. It's just that the number of times that Delgado is a 4.5 star with the potential to be 5-star player. He's an absolutely brilliant player. The number of times he's run up that left wing and then just stopped running and given the ball away. Sports Interactive, sort this out. It's frustrating and it's boring. It really is frustrating and boring. I mean, you know, before I get too angry about the whole situation of SC Cambuur, okay, I know we're not meant to win the league, but we very well could do. I have to give some great applause to Ajax this season because they've done their level best to give it to us. They have picked it up in recent weeks. We've been allowed to win 1 or 2 games recently, so it has kept it quite tight. We'll have a look at the schedule in a minute. But some of the... I mean, you know, you watched the games with me this season. Early season, we were on fire. Very crisp passing, you know, lovely wing play, whipping the ball in the box, Van Dijven scoring lots of goals. I don't have no idea. Once the Champions League was finished and we played Atalanta, we got beat. Obviously, we did get beat. But after that, we got knocked out of the Dutch Cup straight away. And we just couldn't find a goal. We couldn't buy a goal from anywhere. The team looked like it had never seen a football in its life. The strikers couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo. Sports Interactive, sort it out. It's frustrating and it's boring. Okay, rant over. Let's have a little look at what's been happening. Now, I have played a lot of football since you were last with me. Don't take too much notice of the number of games on there. There are 5 friendlies in there because I've been working overtime to try and get the dynamics working, to try and get the happiness up of the players. In the end, it has worked, but it's took a long time to do it. For whatever reason, the AI has made my team look like the worst pub team you've ever seen in your life. It's been really boring and frustrating to watch. And that's one of the reasons why I've not come back on camera. Because I don't want to be showing games where I'm frustrating and angry and bored. So, you know, I've left it till the end of the season. Fortunately, thanks to Ajax not having a great season, we are still top of the league. I'll let you into a little secret. We're top of the league and there's 6 points in it with 3 games to play. There's 9 points to play for. We're in the lead by 6 points. Not really too bothered about going through the results because, I mean, you can see by this, we got soundly beaten by Atalanta in the Champions League. We got knocked out of the Dutch Cup in the 3rd round. Guess who won the Dutch Cup? Yes, Ajax won the Dutch Cup again. They played some, I've never heard of the team that they played in the final. We played Emmen, my favourite team. Yes, and of course they beat us 2-1. But anyway, I'm not going to go through all of these results because quite frankly, it was annoying, it was boring, and we're just going to get into playing these 3 games or as many as we need to play, hopefully to try and win the league. I've had a little team meeting. It was, you know, hold a team meeting, tell the player, but don't tell them you want to win the league because that will make them grumpy. I mean, how much sillier can this game get? Serious. I am being serious now. So I can't say to my players who are on top of the league, come on lads, pull together, we can win this league. No, I can't say that because it'll upset them. So I've had to say, look, I'm easing your expectations. Don't worry if you don't win this game and we don't win the league, because, I'm not going to get grumpy. What a load. I mean, it's a family channel. Let's put it that way. It's a family channel. Let's get into some football and see if we can secure, against all odds, the Eredivisie title once and for all. Well, welcome to Deventer for this game today against Go Ahead Eagles. A little bit aware I didn't show, I got very carried away with my rant. I've not shown you the league table. So 31 games played. We're top of the shop, 70 points. Ajax are in second with 64 points. So they have been playing a little bit iffy. Some of the results that have come through have been a little bit surprising. And even though we've not been allowed to win games, we've not been allowed to score goals, even though, we've not been great, Ajax have done us a major favour, and we're 6 points ahead. But there's 9 points to play for. Needless to say, if today we can win our game and Ajax lose, I mean, there's a few permutations, but let's just get into the game, shall we? So the team for today that could potentially win us the Eredivisie title is Recober in goal. Back four of Chrisen, Hato, Gomez and Mateus. Bates is at the base of the midfield. Del Rey and Fatea just in front of him. We've got Delgado and Stanolovic on the wings. And Van Dijven is up front. And we're underway. Can we hit the ground running? 10 minutes on the clock. We have had a couple of shots. Nothing on target yet. I'm just going to give them a little shout of encouragement. And we do get the first highlight. Chrisen with the throw. Delgado on the wing. Delgado has actually, in the last few games, he's actually stepped up and started playing really well. But that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You see that pass there to nobody, basically. There was nobody there. So I don't know what the AI is doing. I'm not quite sure. Is the AI calling that player a buffoon for passing to, well, nobody, basically? So this is kind of indicative. This is the frustration of the game. That what you're seeing now is the frustration of the game. Now that's nice. And that is a lovely goal from Van Dijven. And that's not been happening. Let me tell you, that has not been happening. This is why I've not come back with games, because it has not been pretty to watch. I mean, that was a nice ball, that. Fatea, he's playing as the advanced playmaker today. Lovely ball into Van Dijven, and he tucks it away. Now, in the last 10 games, Fatea's pass would have gone into this stand here. And even if it had got through to Van Dijven, again, he would have punched a hole into Rowe's head behind the goal. But maybe the AI is turning, maybe eventually. Although I have had games like this. One of the recent games that we played, we were 1-0 up. The opposition team, not sure, was it? It was Breeder. And Van Dijven got the weirdest goal. He basically headed the ball outside the penalty area and it trickled over the line and we were 1-0 ahead. We had something like 15 shots in the game, 7 on target. Breeder weren't in it. They didn't have a shot on target or anything. And late in the game, got an equaliser and we lost 2 points. And that's the way it's been going. But Chrisen's in here, can't finish it. Anyway, let's try and be positive now. Let's try and be positive. Half time, we're winning 1-0. We're going to give the lads a pat on the back. I'm happy how we've dominated possession so far. And we're coming out for the second half now. A little bit worried about Pierre. I think I've said this a few times about him. He's been out injured again. He did come back for a short spell, but he did get injured. I think he's back on a fitness again today. So he's a young lad. Whether he'll get over those fitness problems, I don't know. It's a shame because he is a wonder kid and he's got the potential to do really, really well for not just us, but for any team that signs him. But if he can't put those fitness issues behind him, then he's never going to make it as a professional footballer. Stanolovic! Lovely goal from Stanolovic! We're winning 2-0. Have we looked what Ajax are doing? Come on, we don't need to see that again. Goal awarded. Of course it's awarded. What are Ajax doing? Have they? Oh, they've not played. We've got the early game. Okay, so we have to wait to find out whether Ajax have got a better goal difference than us as well, which is not surprising because we have just not been allowed to score goals. We had a little spell early on in the season where the defence was not leaking goals at all. We were scoring goals. We had about 3, 4, 5 games on the trot where it was a 0 in the like away goals, and we were playing brilliantly, and then that's all flipped on its head completely, and we've just not been able to put the ball in the back of the net. But I mean, if you just look at this, look at the heat map, look at the match momentum. We're so on top in this game, but we have been like this in a few games and not put the game to bed. Delgado now on the wrong side of the pitch. Decent effort. Corner for Tia. He's going to swing this into the near post. Now I've changed my corner routines as well. And we have actually scored a goal from a corner, believe it or not. I think it's the only one we've scored this season. That's got to be a penalty, referee. No? Nah, okay then, fine. It looked like a penalty to me. Okay, about 15 minutes to go in the game. 4 subs. Annie has come on for Delgado, and changed all my midfield 3. Bauer, Hernandez and Ramsey all come on. Just to try and freshen us up there. Just give us some legs. Try and see this game out now. Unless something ridiculously stupid happens, then we should be winning this game quite easily now. So the ball's played back to Mateus. Mateus he actually, when we were having that really dodgy spell, he was just giving the ball away all the time. But the last couple of games, he started looking like the world-class player that he is. And there's another shot that hits the crossbar again. This time, obviously, it doesn't make a difference because we're winning 2-0. Nice 2-0 win. Now we just need Ajax to lose, and I think the title's ours. So anything but a win now for Ajax, and the title is ours. And this is the news we've all been waiting for. Sparta Rotterdam 2, Ajax 2. They've dropped another 2 points and basically handed us a title. So now they can't. There's only 6 points in it now. They can't. So we're now the Eredivisie champions, and that is great news. After my rant at the beginning of the episode, I know it was a little bit downbeat, but I was very frustrated and angry the way that the game is playing, the way the AI is playing. So, but I think we're finishing on an upbeat. Whether we'll get a trophy lift, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. So we will be watching the Vitesse game. Hopefully at the end of that we will get a trophy lift. Hopefully. Because it'd be very nice to watch, wouldn't it? The last trophy lift we had was with AFC Fylde, and that seems like a million years ago now. And there we have it. SC Cambuur win the Eredivisie. They'll certainly look back at some great wins along the way, with perhaps the most notable including a highly impressive 5-2 dismantling of Groningen, emphatic 4-0 win against AZ, 3-0 over NAC, and 1-0 over Ajax. Van Dijven led the way to glory for the Eredivisie team by notching 21 goals en route to sealing the Eredivisie crown. There were jubilant scenes for Giel Blauwen, which apparently is our nickname. Giel Blauwen, who came to form at the perfect time late in the season. I don't know about that. Finding consistent performances to ascend into top spot while surpassing expectations. And I think this brings it into some kind of perspective. If we look at the past winners there, Ajax, 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 Ajax. It's just all Ajax. So we've actually performed a magnificent feat this season. SC Cambuur, best ever Eredivisie finish. And the gaffer leads SC Cambuur to glory. SC Cambuur fans sang Gobby Gaffer's name as the manager inspired their team to lift the Eredivisie. I wonder what the song was. Can we get that going? If we can find out what the words are and the tune, can we get that going? An early edition of a fans fanzine commented that Gaffer had shown a staunch commitment to the supporters by winning this trophy. J. Roy Grott had labelled Gobby Gaffer an outstanding manager following his successful stewardship of SC Cambuur Eredivisie winning campaign. So all we need now is to get our hands on that shiny trophy. Whether we'll get to see it or not, I don't know. But we are going to watch the game against Vitesse. I'll see you in the dugout for that one. Welcome to the Gelredome here in Arnhem, and the team for today is Recovery goal, back four of Chrisen, Hato, Gomez and Mateus. Bates is at the base of the midfield, Del Rey and Fatea just in front, Delgado and Stanolovic on the wings with Van Dijven up front. And we're underway. Not quite sure what kind of AI performance we're going to get today. Is it going to be a little bit after the Lord Mayor's parade, or I'm not quite sure. But Vitesse have the first highlight with a corner. Header just skims the top of the bar and we get away with one there. Vitesse have had 4 shots, 2 on target, and actually have an XG, which we don't have at the moment. We've played half an hour now, we've not even got off the bus yet. But the result doesn't really matter today. All the frustrations and annoyances are out of the way now. We have actually won the league. Stanolovic with the ball forward. Van Dijven, he's onto it, and that's in the back of the net like a rocket. So the AI is back to something like normal. Because let me tell you, that would have punched a hole in row Z in recent performances. But that is a great goal from Van Dijven. Lovely ball as well from Stanolovic. Great finish. Perfect. He's just asked for a new contract as well. Little does he know, I'm not going to be here next season. I have told you that I'm not. I'm resigning at the end of the season. Half time. Dressing room chat. Good first half performance. Pat on the back. Away we go into the second half. Stanolovic is looking a little bit tired, unless he's carrying an injury. And he has picked up the injury. Okay, so we'll bring Pierre on. See if Pierre can last 90 minutes. 45 minutes, should say. So we've got Pierre on. See if he can do something on that right-hand side. It's been all us in the game. We had a very, very slow start to the game. Vitesse are still on the 4 shots, 2 on target that they started with. We've really picked it up since. We're now on 11 shots, 5 on target, XG of 0.94. We've had 67% of the possession. And we're going into the end of this game now, which looks very much like it's going to be rounded. Well, it's not rounding the season off because there is still a game to play. But hopefully we'll go into this with a nice win. And there we go, and here we have the trophy presentation. This is marvellous. It's been a long time since I've held a trophy. A long time. It's been a long time coming at SC Cambuur as well. And we're ready for raising the trophy now. It's very shiny. It's quite heavy. Hey! Oh, look at the ticker tape. Look at the fireworks. It's lovely. I'm chuffed to bits. Chuffed to bits. This episode's been a bit weird. Started very downbeat and ended on a massive high. And are we going to get a cartwheel? Yes, we are. Number 4 gives us a nice cartwheel there as we stroll off the pitch with the trophy. And for once, it's not ended up at Ajax. Lovely stuff. And let me tell you, that leaves me with a nice, warm, rosy feeling inside. Like I say, the beginning of the episode didn't start off very positively. I know, sorry for the rant, but I do get a little bit annoyed with the whole AI, the whole giving the ball away and shots hitting row Z. And I don't... FM23, some people like the chaotic nature of FM23. Since the winter update, I don't think it's been a beneficial update at all. I think it's made the game harder. And let me qualify that. I don't mind the game being hard. That's fine. But when the AI is intervening all the time to make the game hard, i.e., you're hitting the crossbar, you're hitting the post, you're given penalties that the keeper saves. The ball hits Rowe's head. All of that kind of stuff is really frustrating, and it makes the game, it's hard in the wrong way, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I nearly got into another rant there, didn't I? Yep, okay, fine. We've won the Eredivisie. I have one more game to play. Going to play that off camera, and then we'll be back. And well, I'll be resigning, so we'll see you very shortly. And just like that, we're back. We did win the final game of the season. Haytom, a centre-back, scored from a corner. Very nice. So we won 1-0. Nice way to finish the season off. And another nice way to finish the season off is to have a look at the season review. Now, I think this screen tells quite a big story if we'll have a look at it. There was only one player, Nello De Rey, the lad we had on loan, got a green rating over 7.08, so only just. Usman, Bates, Mateus, Cazorla, Anaya, Heymans, Carranza, all less than 7. And I think that was a telling factor that none of these players were allowed by the AI to be the players that they should be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, comment down below. If you think I'm wrong, comment down below. But the number of these that I've done in Football Manager, and you've had 7, 8, 9 players all on green ratings. I mean, there's wonder kids in here. Usman is a wonder kid. You know, Carranza, another wonder kid. There's wonder kids all over the shop in my squad, yet none of them managed to get over 7. So I think towards the end of the season there, that last 10 or 12 games, because none of these players were hitting, basically what I'm saying is I couldn't put a team out that had an average rating of over 7 for all of them. There was only maybe 2 or 3 or 4 at max. So I think that maybe tells a story of why we didn't do that well towards the end of the season. I know we won the Eredivisie. I would have loved to have won it in a really swanky fashion, and we didn't. It's great to have won it, don't get me wrong, but I'm a little bit soured by the way the AI treated us in those last 12 games. Because like I say, I mean, I know I'm repeating myself, but a lot of the time watching the games, we look like the worst pub team you've ever seen in your life. Seriously. And that's why I didn't come back to show any of the games. I've said this. They weren't worth watching. It was horrible. Anyway, so the board are delighted with the deal to sign Mateus, gets an A+. We signed him for 12 million from Sporting. And there we can see the final league table. So obviously all played 34 games. We finished on top with 79 points. Ajax 71 points. Now let's just have a quick look at what they did towards the end of the season. So they didn't have too bad a run in. They picked it up as well. That result there wasn't great, but they did win the last 2 games of the season. But we did finish 8 points ahead of them, which is very nice. We were ahead of them for about the last 12 games. We were ahead by 6, 7, 8 points all of the time. And even though our performances weren't great, Ajax were dropping points as well. So it did help us along the way an awful lot. Champions League, don't know whether that's worth a look. Don't think SC Cambuur are ever going to be major players in the Champions League. The group stage wasn't great. We had, 4 wins there. We beat Sevilla, Standard Liège, Arsenal, and we beat Olympiacos. So out of the 8 games, we won half of them. But then we lost 5 and drew 1. I mean, we finished in our best spot, 16th. But then, of course, you come up against better teams in the playoffs. Atalanta, we were out of our league, if I'm honest. Finance-wise, we doubled our sponsorship up to 5.1 million. Broadcast revenue slightly down. Corporate hospitality slightly down. Competition prize money slightly up. And matchday commercial and retail slightly up. shirt sales, Delgado, top of the shop, not surprising, tremendous player. Stanolovic, Van Dijven, Pierre and Fatia closely following. And the awards ceremony, I didn't actually win any awards through the season. Whether I'll win manager of the season, I don't know. But the player awards, so Delgado got the fans player of the season, and he also got young player of the season. Signing of the season was Mateus, the 20-year-old wonder kid at right wing back. Top goal scorer, Van Dijven, 29 goals. I mean, not shabby, not too shabby at all. Most assists, Delgado with 14. Player of the match awards, Van Dijven with 8. And the highest average rating was Delgado with 7.3. And we had a few record breakers. My goalkeeper, Rakoba, actually won the goalkeeper of the season. So very nice accolade for him. 21 clean sheets. So on the way there, you know, we did have, so I did speak about this in the last game that we saw on camera. He actually, in that little run that we had, 4, 5, 6 games where we didn't concede a goal, he was instrumental in that, and he has been a really good keeper for us this season. And I think this tells a little bit of a story. It probably sums up what I've been trying to say. The spell of football in the middle of the season was the making of SC Cambuur. It really set them up for success. Well, it certainly did, because if Ajax would have been on form in the latter part, like the last third of the season, we wouldn't have won the league. And it was thanks to them not having a great season that we were actually able to win the league in the end. And before we leave, a little look at AFC Fylde. They actually were, the last time we looked, they were doing really well. They were just outside the playoffs. They didn't have the greatest end of seasons, finished in 15th with 58 points. So whether their recruitment and management can keep them in the championship, I don't know. But I certainly think that SC Cambuur are set up now for a decent future. The players that I've signed, the wonder kids that have signed, are only going to get better. If they can keep Pierre fit, then down that right-hand side, and to fill in at striker, Stanolovic and Pierre can both fill in at striker. Van Dijven, if he can, he was asking me for a new contract, but I've left that for the future management. But if he can keep banging the goals in, 2-3 seasons on the trot now, he's scored over 20 goals. So it's up to the new management to, to work with that. But I think I've left them a really good squad. And like I say, hopefully they will stay up there. And I don't think they'll rival Ajax for too long, because I think Ajax will be smarting from this season. I'm probably going to run away with it next. But you never know. We will certainly be keeping an eye on him. But the time has come. I need a new club. I need to move on with my career. My reputation is still at 40%. Even though I've won the Eredivisie, it's still at 40%. So I now need to resign and look for another club. So in game, it's the 31st of May, 2031. Not really in the habit of resigning from clubs, but I do think I've taken this club as far as I can take them. All my job applications through my tenure with SC Cambuur have all got knocked back. In fact, I've actually only had a couple of interviews. Most of them have not even got to the interview phase. So I think I need to try and do it a different way. And I think resigning and then start looking for a club from scratch is probably the way to go. So here we go. Wish me luck. Do you wish to resign as manager of SC Cambuur with immediate effect? Yes, I do. Thank you very much. And with that, it's time to move on to hopefully bigger and brighter things. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please give me a like. And if you're new around here, subscribe, spread the word, all that malarkey. If you like your football manager played the Gobby Gaffer way, then why not come back for the next episode? Because the next episode is going to be really interesting as I search for a job in a higher league with a better class of team. And hopefully it'll work out a little bit better than my job applications recently. And if you want to see how all of that turns out, Come back for the next episode. We'll see you then.